Tian Hao raised a hand to rub her forehead where she was hurt. "It's just a scrape. It'll heal up in 2 days. It won't leave a scar at all. I really don't have to go to the hospital." The director couldn't make the call, so he looked at Lu Jinian for his opinion. Lu Jinian glanced over at Tian Hao, who had just smudged the blood from her cut all over her forehead. His tone of voice suggested no wasn't an answer when he said, "Go to the hospital. You really don't have to go through all that trouble." Tian Hao hadn't finished her sentence when Lu Jinian cut her off to say, "Miss Qiao, you have just had an accident and you are a part of the cast which we have invested in. You may say that you're fine now and don't need to go to the hospital, but if you turn around later to go in for a checkup and find that there really is a problem and try to extort us, then what do we do?" Tian Hao opened her mouth to explain that she would never do that, but Lu Jinian simply didn't give her a chance, answering his own question. "Also, don't forget that you are a signed artist of my winning entertainment. If you don't go to the hospital after an accident, I certainly don't want to hear any scandals about abuse against artists from my company." As Lu Jinian spoke, he snatched the car keys from the director's hand, and then went straight for Tian Hao's arm. Holding her, he rushed to the parked car not too far away. After just 2 steps, it looked like he had suddenly thought of something. He stopped in his tracks and glared at the director with a cold look, causing the director to slightly shiver in fear. A second later, Lu Jinian raised his arm with the car keys. He pointed at the broken swing not that far off and said mercilessly, "Before I get back, I want you to give me a reasonable explanation. Tell me, how can a swing break like that for no reason?" When he finished, Lu Jinian turned his head and, dragging Tian Hao's arm, stalked out. Lu Jinian raced to the hospital in his car. The two of them didn't speak at all on the drive from the villa to the city. It was at least a 2-hour drive, but he reached the public hospital in an hour and a half. Lu Jinian simply wasn't looking for Tian Hao's opinion at all. He dragged her straight to the emergency ward, signed in, and shouted to the doctor, "Give her a full-body checkup." Without even looking at Tian Hao, he took long strides out, and left. The full-body checkup took a long time. Lu Jinian stood in the hallway, waiting, slightly bored. Every now and then, he would raise his hand and press the left of his back. His brows creased hard, as though he was enduring something. In the end, it was like he couldn't take it anymore. He pulled a cigarette from his pocket, wanting to divert his attention. However, just as the cigarette settled between his lips, Lu Jinian saw the sign on the wall, saying in large letters, "No smoking." He angrily took the cigarette from his mouth and shoved it back into its pack, and into his pocket.